Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a shortcut for you, really digging into the IHRIM Professional and Organizational Standards Framework. We're looking at why IHRIM, the global authority for HR tech, that's HRIT, HRE, is so vital for managing risk today.
Well, what jumps out right away is IHRIM's strategic importance. It was founded back in 1980. It's non-governmental.
Right.
But it effectively dictates the minimum competency level globally. And that's because, governments often lag behind tech changes.
So keeping up with IHRIM isn't just good practice, it's essential risk management for big companies handling sensitive data.
Exactly. Strategic risk mitigation. That's the core of it.
Okay, so how do they actually maintain that authority? Let's unpack that. Their whole credibility seems to rest on being vendor neutral.
Totally.
And they guard that with a pretty strict conflict of interest policy, the COI policy, for anyone doing IHRM business.
That CRI policy is absolutely the linchpin. If they lose that objectivity, the value of their certification content just evaporates. So it's not just some rule. It's basically the legal foundation for their unbiased market position.
But wait, if they're vendor neutral, how do they enforce standards across the board? With vendors, contractors, exhibitors.
That's where it gets interesting. The mandatory code of conduct isn't just for IHR members. It applies to all external parties.
All of them, really?
Yeah. So operationally, what that means for you, say, when you're picking a new HR system, is your company has to contractually push these ethical standards onto those third-party providers. That's how you manage the downstream risk, the reputational, the financial risk when you give them your sensitive data.
Makes sense. And looking at those ethical pillars, one really stands out in their framework. Confidentiality.
Oh, absolutely.
It says professionals must maintain strict confidentiality of member and corporate records and information. Seems foundational.
It is the foundation. Protecting that information guides pretty much every other decision they outline.
Okay, let's shift to how they measure competence. The HRIP Certification Human Resource Information Professional.
Right, the HRIP.
And takes, 5 years minimum experience across 5 domains just to sit for the exam?
Yes, and what's key is what that experience proves. The certified HRIT Pro isn't just about system mechanics anymore.
It's more strategic.
Exactly. It's strategic risk management. Those 5 years demonstrate you understand cybersecurity, HR and IT law, data governance, not just configuring software.
And we see that focus in the exam weights, too. The biggest chunks, 25% each, are HR tech and business processes, and then system selection, implementation, and upgrades.
Right. And why those? Because that's where the biggest risks lie. Financial, legal.
Failed implementations, poor integration.
Precisely. That leads straight to cost overruns, compliance issues. So IHRM tests hardest where the potential damage is greatest.
That focus on competence feels even more vital looking ahead, especially with AI entering the picture. The framework has some serious warnings about AI in HR.
It does. HR leaders need to be cautious. They actually use the word beware of automated systems.
Beware, okay.
And demand algorithmic transparency. They stress that just using historical data can bake in old biases. The past isn't always a good predictor or basis for the future, especially with AI models for your workforce.
So no black boxes. What's the final guideline for AI then?
Human oversight is critical. Constant monitoring, human analytical skill reviewing the AI. The professional has to stay in intellectual control, check the assumptions, ensure fairness. You can't just trust the output blindly.
So pulling it all together, the framework links governance, ethics, and competence to responsible tech adoption.
Exactly. It's an integrated system. Governance, ethics, validated skills, they all have to work together for sensible tech implementation.
So for you listening, what this boils down to is that HRIT leaders need to be more than tech specialists. You need to be strategic negotiators, effective change agents.
Technical skill is the baseline, sure, but it's not enough on its own. You need that strategic leadership view.
Okay, final thought to leave everyone with it.
Right. IHRM itself admits, quite openly, that no data transmitted or available over the internet can be guaranteed to be 100% secure.
That's quite an admission.
It is. So given that transparency, how does this shift your focus as an HRIT leader? Maybe less from purely preventing breaches, which they say isn't fully possible.
More towards
building incredibly resilient systems. Systems with robust, catastrophic, and disaster recovery plans. Maybe that's the real strategic negotiation we need to master now.